We are only a few days away from Shattered Space, and there are plenty of videos and articles available giving details on what to expect from Starfield's first DLC. With all of this available, you may have missed a few key things about Shattered Space, so I want to take some time to point out some interesting things that I think you should know before jumping into Va'ruun Kai. Without further ado, here are 5 things you should know about Starfield Shattered Space. To start things off, we all know that most of the handcrafted content and stories center around the capital of Va'ruun Kai, Dajra. However, once you travel to the city, you won't be forced to stay there. You have the choice of staying and completing the DLC in one go or coming and going as you please. The content in Shattered Space is also available as soon as you complete the intro of the game, so if you do decide to make a new character, you do have the option of jumping straight into it once you discover the Va'ruun distress signal. However, Bethesda has stated that the content was made with higher level players in mind. That doesn't mean you have to max out as much as possible before playing, but ideally you should have a little experience under your belt before beginning. Speaking in terms of Dajra, everything is new. Shattered Space takes place in a new system with at least 3 different planetary bodies to explore. There will be new weapons and armor to collect, as well as the new enemy types, the Redeemed and Vortex Horror. There will even be new companions that can be recruited. I don't see this detail talked about a lot either. Sure, they more than likely won't be in the realms of the 4 romanceable characters in Constellation, but you will be able to hire some number of people to work on your ship or your settlements. So yeah, a little bit of new everything. With this new everything comes a change up to combat. Bethesda has stated that Starfield had more of a focus on long-range gunfights, and this DLC will change that up. The new enemies have more options of ambushing the player, which we get a glimpse of in the trailers. The Redeemed seem to rush the players with huge swords, and the Vortex Horrors seemingly spawn out of nowhere. This fast-paced combat in tighter areas puts a big emphasis on close-quarter combat. If you're doing any prep work before the game releases, now might be a good time to get a few weapons and skills ready for these encounters. Speaking of weapons, there will be 5 new grenade types that can be crafted. In a tweet made by Bethesda, they stated, "New grenades to craft that stem from the organic materials you gather, and it's gross." We don't really see that in the trailer, but as someone who loves crafting mods for weapons and spacesuits, I cannot wait to get a hold of this new mechanic and will be testing these out as soon as I get the materials. Finally, let's talk about some of the decisions we will be making, and this isn't something I see many people talking about. We know that there will be some sort of decision making in the story to determine the fate of Va'ruun Kai and the House Va'ruun, but the decision we make during the story will have some sort of impact on the game as a whole. It won't be major, but something will take place. It was even stated that the choices that you make with Andreja, if you've done her companion quest, will have an effect on what goes on in the DLC. So these choices go both ways. I wouldn't expect these to be groundbreaking differences, but it might shake up relationships with those various factions across the settled systems. As I mentioned before, there are a lot of videos and articles out there that cover all aspects of Shattered Space, but just like the initial release of Starfield, there are plenty of questions still out there. We've got the stepping stones in place, and now we only have to wait a few more days until the full release. So what are you looking forward to with Shattered Space? What details do you think I missed in this video and you want other people to know? Leave a comment and let us know. If you want to watch my journey through the stars, you can follow us on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube, where I'll be live streaming to both channels whenever Shattered Space drops. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be back with more soon.